For more on Thailand's parliamentary election, global affairs analyst Nweke joins me now from Belgium for an analysis of the country's politics. Good to have you join us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Precious, for having me.
It does seem as though the world is waking up to a changed political landscape in Thailand. The country seems to have broken free from a military-dominated government. We talked earlier about the shift in public opinion in our introduction. What do you think is responsible for that shift?
Well, the shift appears to be one whose time has come. I mean, the time is ripe. But I think we need to exercise some cautious optimism here, because if you look at what has gone on in Thailand in the past decade or so, each time the military has called for election because they have been largely in power, they have always, had people who are opposed to the military actually winning the election. Now, have they managed since then to remain in power and have a proper civilian regime? That has not been the case. So the hold on power by the Thai military is very, very strong, particularly if you consider the junta-backed or junta-era constitution of 2014.
All right, I see your phone is ringing there and you're trying to probably put it on silence, but you can go ahead with your contribution.
If you consider the military constitution of 2014 that has actually given even more power to the military, then you begin to have a very serious doubt as to whether this landslide victory of the anti-military, anti-monarchy, well, they don't have any option, do they? Because Move Forward didn't, nor any other party for that matter, didn't win, outright majority. An outright majority would mean 376 seats out of the 750, parliamentary seats. So no party got that, not the Move Forward, not the Pheu Thai. So the only option left for them is indeed for all the parties, the first winner, the second runner-up, and then other 2 or 3 parties to team up together, form a coalition government. That is the only way they are going to be able to at least pass the first hurdle. And that first hurdle is presenting a united, candidate, a consensus candidate to say, this is the guy or the lady that we are going to line up behind as a prime minister. The hurdle doesn't stop there, because you will also have to take into consideration that the 250-seat Senate is actually, they have a block vote there. And all the members of that Senate were appointed by the military. So essentially, if history is anything to go by, they are known to vote only candidates that are pro-military, because in the first place, that was what the military put them there to do. So you see, the only way that the entire hurdle is going to be crossed is when the members of the Senate, the pro-military Senate, actually believe and, actually consider that the Thai people are tired of the status quo and they want a change. And so if there is a split there, there will be, a smooth or a smoother ride. But who knows? The military can always still, come back anytime. So that is the,
Mr. Collins Nweke, is that likely to happen? Because, you mentioned the 250 strong unelected. We have to be very specific on the fact that they were unelected Senate. Mm-hmm. But they need to work with the lower house to be able to pass reforms. So for those who are saying that, look, this is the dawn of a new era in Thailand, is it really the dawn of a new era? Do you see the coalition being able to make significant changes, especially in terms of constitutional reforms?
They don't have a choice. And that is why I'm actually not one of those, rolling out the drums and jubilating that, the era of military in Thailand is dead and buried. No, it is weakened, but it is certainly not dead, neither is it buried. So that block vote is an issue. And, the smaller parties would have to work with, Move Forward Party if they truly want to, respect the will of the people. And even the military itself, because don't forget that the 2014 constitution on which the politics is based today is actually tilted in favor of, the military. But that is, as a matter of fact, one of the things that propelled the Move Forward Progressive Party to this victory, because they have made it clear that they want that constitution, jettisoned, but they also want to reform the monarchy of Thailand. Now, if the military gets fearful that they are not going to take things easy, if they feel they are going to be very, very radical, I believe that they can still pull a fast one. Whether that will be by way of military coup, it is doubtful. However, they have other strings that they can pull. And so a lot of diplomacy is required here by the coalition parties.
So let me ask you, as we expand this conversation quickly, we just saw an election in Turkey that has now, there is now a runoff in 2 weeks' time, and then another election in Thailand, where they're now, looking to form a coalition. As the West, watches what's happening both in Thailand and Turkey, what do you think is at stake for them?
You mean what is at stake for the West?
What is at stake for the West in both these elections, whether it's in Thailand and in Turkey?
Yes. Well, what is at stake for the West is the fact that the Western brand democracy, as it works in the West, is what the West desires to see all over the world. And they are doing everything they can, both the subtle support for opposition parties that represent the characteristics of the sort of democracy they want to see, and through other means. Regime change used to be an option in the past. Right now, the Western world isn't quite using it as brutally as they used to do, but there are other ways that they are doing it. So yes, what is at stake here for the West is very, very high, because they want to have, allies in all of these countries to work with. Erdogan has not really shown to be a trustworthy ally because of his romance with Turkey, for instance, with Putin, for instance, and then blocking of Sweden from entering the NATO. The same thing goes for Thailand. So the young progressive, party that has won the election is more amenable to the United States and the West, and so they would rather have them in power than the military.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Global Affairs Analyst Collins Nweke.